When we look at a trend in home decor, it lasts 3 to 5 years typically. In fashion, you're looking at 18 months. So we found our 4 trends, and before you leave tonight, there's a bag of one of these little recyclable bags made of recycled materials, great for your groceries and everything too. But inside is our trends brochure, so you can actually see the colors for each of these trends, and there's a little story behind each trend. With the Voice of Color at Pittsburgh Paints, we provide a meaning behind every palette that we pick, so there's a reason why we pick these colors. For fair trade, and it's called EcoEco, eco for environment, and echo to reference a decade that has passed. Okay, so these colors are from the 60s, and if you remember some of the dinnerware that was out in the 60s, that frosty glade blue color is very, very, very hot right now, mixed with a brown red, a nice, nice green, a really nice tan beigey color, and then this sharp, sharp burgundy red. So if you take a look, those are the colors. And this is just some of the ways that we use it in the space. And I'll show you a little bit too of how we use our paint colors. We put 5 colors on a chip, because whenever you're choosing your paint color, it's never about choosing one color. It's figuring out how the colors all work in the space. And when you look at these chips, there's no white gutter in between each color, because when you're thinking about how your design works, if you've got your sofa up against your couch, the color of the sofa is against the couch. Your window treatments are against your wall, so everything is butting up next to each other. So it's very important to see how the color reacts next to this. This color looks a lot different next to a bright white than it does to a beige. So when we stick it right next to each other, you get that feeling of the whole space. And we're not telling you to use 5 paint colors in the room, because that probably would not look very good. But if you use 2 of these colors, or maybe 3, maybe an accent wall, and then pull this color in for the rest of the walls, and then you pull the other colors in the fabrics of your furniture, your window treatments, your flooring, your pillows, picture frames, artwork. So this gives you like a little decorating card to take with you. And how we do it too is we pick these colors, so whenever you walk into stores, you're going to find these colors in the textiles. You're going to find these hues in the textiles that you are seeing out there, the fabrics. Okay, so this is just that's called our fair trade. Vintage is colors from the 20s. They're very soft, very feminine, very nostalgic. So you got a nice brown. Does not look at all like that. How much? And always remember too, when you see something in print or on the computer screen or on your TV, it's obviously not paint. These are all paint deposit chips. So this is how it will appear on your wall. Very important to pick it. And always important to use the right lighting. So when you're in here, it's fluorescent light. You probably don't have fluorescent light in your house. You probably have incandescent light. You've got to take the sample home with you. We have these great little jars to try the actual paint on the wall. I always recommend because I have swatches all over my house, but I take down pictures and I paint behind the picture, and if somebody's coming over for dinner, I just put the picture back on the wall so nobody sees it. And it's a great way to try it, or just to get a big piece of poster board. And if you get a big piece of poster board, then you can move it around. So you can put it right beside your couch, right beside your window treatment, so you get the real feeling for it. And I so recommend, and Humphrey's has all these jars at their store, so it's so important to try the color first. So this is called Vintage. And you can see how the colors almost melt into each other. They're very, very, very subtle. And we pull the colors into the furniture as well as the paint. That's Vintage. The third trend is EcoLoco, and we talked about Generation Y. So there's your bright green. Ha! I see interest there. Got to use this with a lot of white. You cannot paint your entire room this color because it will drive you crazy. It can probably not have a good effect on you at all. Like when we talk about colors and how they affect people, like, you know, we have prisons in Texas that actually use pink, like a soft pink, because it's compassionate. You don't want to use a bright red in prison because you know what could happen. So, but this color, so it's very important. Even though that's our biggest color on the chip, it's because it's everywhere. You see it everywhere, this color, but you mix it with a lot of white, and I'll show you how we did it in this photo shoot here. But Gen Y, they love these colors. And I love it too. I've talked a couple paint dealers into painting their wall this color, and it looks fantastic. They call me like halfway through and like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because it used to be white. But here we go. So take a look at that. So see what I mean? You put a lot of white there, and then it just makes the room look like sunshine. It's perfect. It's perfect. Very, very fun. That's EcoLoco. EcoTechno for the guys out there. We have a very nice palette. That gray, very important. Very, very pretty. Mixed with the true green and red. It's all about minimalist, being a minimalist, and everything is very much about function, very straight lines, where the vintage was very rounded, very soft. This is very hard lines. Beautiful, beautiful palette for a guy. I mean, women can use this palette too, but it feels much more masculine. And look at that fun chair. You could have fun with that. It says EcoTechno.